Welcome back to day 36 of finishing my basement by myself. I've never installed flooring before, and here's the honest process of how it went. I made plenty of mistakes along the way, and I'll show you all of them, but I promise you at the end of this video, you're gonna realize it's not as scary as you thought. All the videos I watched said you should mix and match the different boxes of flooring because there's some color variation in it, so I did that, and then I just started figuring out my layout. I wanted to go with a third offset like this, and I decided to essentially base all my flooring off the blue accent wall because that's the focal feature. So to do that, I had to figure out the cutouts for this first bump out, so I marked a 1/4 inch from each wall, got my little blue square, and just marked straight lines where I needed to cut, and then I just walked it over to my Heart miter saw. It cut it super clean, but the only problem was this is only a 10-inch miter saw, and it just didn't have enough cutting capacity to reach all the way to the edge. But it wasn't a problem, it was close enough and just left that little nick right there. So all I did was take my little multi-tool, clean it up, and now I just wanted to test it to make sure it fit. Put my little sandwich spacers against the wall, grab my tapping block just to tap it in against the seams, and it's looking good. I really took my time on this first row because the rest of the flooring is going to build off it, so I'm happy with it. With the first row done, I wanted to take care of that little back nook and cranny, so I wanted to show you by using the utility knife. So I just scored it there, and I scored again. I could not get this to snap. I don't know if it's a testament to how strong and scratch resistant the flooring is. Maybe my utility blade needs to be sharpened. I don't know, but using the miter saw was just easy, and then I just pulled out all the flooring so I could just tap it in like that. And then I pushed it in, and it actually worked perfect. It was like one full plank width, which made it easy on me. Then I wanted to start the 1/3 offset for the second row, so I cut this piece and then very quickly realized that I cut the wrong side of it because it no longer had that little lip for the tongue and groove to fit in, so I had to recut a piece for that. And then as I go to tap this one in, I snapped off the little tongue and groove part right there a little bit, so I started using a scrap piece and then the tapping block for that. Bunch of people told me to do that, and that helped a lot. And now this last little piece, I'm trying to get as straight as possible for this door frame. So I ended up getting it perfect. It's looking good. I'm rocking and rolling, so I'm gonna keep going. Here's how these planks work. They're really easy to install. So as you can see from the instructions, it has a tongue and a groove, right? So here's your groove, and then here's your tongue. So this fits right into here, and then it fits right into here. You just slide it in, and then you're just gonna tap with this tapping block. Use a scrap piece first, tap it in, and I'll show you how that works. The first step I do is I take the new piece and I lock it in on the long side and slide it into the short side, and then I grab a scrap piece, watch the tapping block where that arrow is, see how it just slightly gets it to where you need it, take the scrap piece away, and then use a soft mallet and just bang in this short side right here. This is literally what the instructions say to do. Just do it really lightly, and then you'll be left with a seamless intersection right here, or whatever you want to call it. Intersection's probably a bad word, but it looks great. And I gave you a nice overhead view of me just cranking it out. I was constantly worried that my phone was going to fall on my head and I was going to be concussed. All right, let's see if I can actually pull this off. I'm putting on gloves because knowing me, I'd probably slice my hands. These are cut resistant. The biggest problem was I needed a new blade. This is a fresh blade, and I think it'll help a lot. So I just marked my line. I'm going to use my square to help. I have a scrap piece underneath so I don't cut my flooring by accident. Let's give it a go. Try not to cut myself. There's a pretty good score. I know you can see the pencil, but you see it? All right. Oh! All right. It's not perfect, but like, it's gonna go up against the wall and be hidden by trim, so you'll never notice. Sorry. It was just one of those things I just need to get over. I didn't want to break it in the wrong spot, so I was just kind of babying it a little bit. So now I'm going to install this piece, and I need to cut out this right here for this little part. So I was going to use my jigsaw to cut this, but I just don't really know how I could do it in a safe way and support it, especially when I would have to do it in the dark. So this isn't going to be as easy. I have to be way more precise, but I'm going to use my multi-tool instead and just try to get a really clean cut. The multi-tool is easily my favorite tool that I own. I just feel like it can do so many things, and then if you're really careful with it, you can make really, really sharp lines. I'm just kind of going shallow at first and then making the deeper cuts right here. And now to see if this thing fits. Okay. Money. Let's go. I'm still working like a caveman with no power, but honestly, like I said, once I got my snap virginity taken, it's just pretty easy to do. I have all the flooring installed except for this last row right here. So I just marked the cut right here, and I'm going to bring it over and cut it lengthwise down here. And the only way I know how to do it is with a table saw. I'm honestly curious how you would do this otherwise. I guess maybe you could buy one of those floor cutters, like the manual ones, but I feel like there's no way you could do this with a utility knife. But I guess what do I know? This worked well for me though. All right, let's test the fit. It's good. So now comes the hard part because I still have to tap this in, but I can't just use the tapping block anymore with the hammer because obviously I don't have enough space for the hammer to do it. So you're supposed to have a pull bar, but I was too cheap to buy one, so this is what I did. I have no idea if it's gonna work. I'm just gonna basically put it like here and hammer it. I don't think it's gonna work, but if it saves me $15 and a trip to Home Depot, I'll take it. This is so ridiculous, it actually just might work. Let's see if you can see that seam. Let's see if I can close it up. Oh, okay. I just did this. Oh my god, it worked. All right, look at this right now. Perfect seam all the way down. All thanks to this guy. I know this was a longer video, but if you're still watching this, it probably means you relate to this in some way, shape, or form. So whether it's because you've completed or plan to tackle home DIY projects in your home, or you're just genuinely curious to see someone without any experience just absolutely go for it and tackle their home renovations by themselves, then consider clicking that plus if you haven't already and giving Real Life Renovation a follow, and let's learn and have some fun together.